Okay, people, let me talk to y'all about voting. Well, today I went out to go vote. You know, took my little girl with me so she can see the experience of me voting. And there she is right there. Y'all can see her. And she went with me to go vote. And it was a nice experience for her to see that. But I want to talk about voting and going to vote and what I saw when I went to vote. The thing is about voting is I hear people are complaining about Donald Trump, the Republican Party, the people on the right, the people on the left were out there protesting and saying they don't like what's going on about immigration, what Donald Trump said about immigration, and people flipping out about it, And I see people all upset, people on the left complaining, got everything to say about it. But then I go vote today. I would think, as mad as people been, as upset people been, and how much complaining they been doing, I would think that line would have been out the door. People going to go vote to make some changes, to make a difference. No, it wasn't like that. I walk in there, all I had to do, walk through the door, give people my ID, fill out a card, and vote. Because there wasn't that many people in there. My dad called me and he said, son, I went and voted. I asked him, was that a lot of people there? He said, no, we just went in and voted. There wasn't that many people there. I said, that's interesting. So you mean to tell me people doing all this complaining, this, that, and the third, and the Republican Party, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, and people are so misinformed about voting that the day I go vote, there's nobody there voting. So how you gonna make a difference in the change if you ain't trying to go vote? And you're so misinformed about the voting process is that your main voting time is when you're supposed to vote is right now when it's time for the midterms when you got to vote for your local elections, your local tax commissioner, your senates, but they're not going out there to vote for this. This is the time you're supposed to vote, but people are not going to vote. Your local elections count. They matter the most. Then when you go vote the next 2 years for the president. This is what matters right here. So everything that's going on in your community, you don't like it because you're not going out and voting. You're not even informed what you're supposed to be going to vote, when you're supposed to go vote, and the right time to go vote, which is all the time really when it's time to vote. But your main voting should be right now in your local elections. This is what matters. This is what laws get passed in your state or your city. But people don't know that because they so focused on the president. The president ain't got nothing to do with what's going on in Atlanta, Georgia. If you ain't going out there voting for the next governor of Georgia, and you wonder why the Republicans take over Georgia, because you ain't voting. And they complain. Donald Trump said this, and the latest thing they complained about what he said was about calling the immigrants animals, which they misinformed people about that. So I heard that. So let me go back and see what he really said. So I went back, and what the media left out was the lady who asked him about the MS-13 gang. As those of you who don't know what MS-13 is a gang, a Mexican gang, that come over illegally a lot of times because they be transporting sex trade and transporting drugs over the border. So and that lady asked him, what about MS-13? He said, well, I'm trying to work on getting them people out of here. And he said, they're not people, they're animals, which he was referring to the MS-13. But what the media did, they took it and twisted it around and said he called the immigrants animals. So people had outrage and flipping out about it, but then go back and see what he actually said. And that's what it did with a lot of stuff he say. But if you don't go back and research and look it up yourself, it just depends on somebody else to tell you what he said. Then people just take that and run with it. But they talk about this voting that people didn't, well, nobody hardly there voting. But they're doing all this complaining, marching, but don't go vote. You know, it's ridiculous. And then especially when I see black people who choose not to vote. That's just sad to see that. And that's just like, when you ask a black person why they ain't voting, oh, I ain't voting, it don't matter. But your ancestors, man, they fought for that. They died for that. They had dogs, water hoses sicked on them for that. When they really were fighting real segregation, was really trying to fight for their rights, dying for that. And you telling me you ain't gonna vote? I mean, that's like a slap in their face. They died for nothing, for you can sit back and say, I'm not gonna go vote. I mean, that's like slapping, you might as well, why were you walking around marching telling you like Dr. Martin Luther King when he fought for that? For your right to vote, but you choose not to vote. But you listen to your latest hip hop artist or some entertainer telling you some nonsense, because half of them don't know what they be talking about anyways, but you rather listen to what they got to tell you. But then at the same time, you don't go vote. You listen to your T.I.'s, which I know he's a felon, so he can't vote, so I don't know why you're listening to him. So that's what I got to say about that, man. And no matter what you vote for, if you vote Republican or if you vote Democrat, just vote. And then if the person don't vote with you, ain't got the same thinking that you got, don't be mad at the person. Because everybody, we all human. We all got our own mind. So nobody ain't got to think like you, be the same way you got to be. And I see people who get upset about because if a person say they like Donald Trump. It's the same thing when Obama was in office. You know, people got mad or the media took stuff he said and twisted it around. Like when he said he was going to take on the gun law. He was want to make stricter gun laws. And some people thought he was talking about taking away their guns, which he never said that. That's what the media do. But if you ain't paying attention to what the media is doing, you let the media control the way you think, that's what's going to happen. The same thing they're doing with Trump. He'll say something, then the media take it out of context and run with it. You got people who don't really pay attention to anything. They just go by what somebody else tell them, or they want to take a little snippet of what he said. And the media know certain people ain't going to watch the whole speech. They're just going to take a little snippet of it, and people going to go, oh, well, he said it, man. He said it. Okay, show me what he said. Did you watch the whole speech? No, I ain't watched the whole speech. I just know he said it. Oh, how you know if you ain't watching the whole speech? It's like the TMZ thing. The media took part of what Kanye West said, split it in half, and show what they wanted you to think. And certain people don't go back and watch it. They just go by what the media tell them. You know, sometimes you got to go and start thinking for yourself. But this voting stuff, when I went and voted and saw that nobody was there to vote, I was like, wow. But you're doing all this marching, you're doing all this complaining. You don't like this, you don't like what this going, but you don't go vote. But then you say your vote don't matter. That don't matter because you ain't vote. It showing up don't matter if you ain't voting. You ain't got no say-so in anything. So now what I do now, I just ask people, did you vote? If you tell me you didn't vote, so you don't need to talk. The conversation need to be over with now because you ain't got nothing to say. What do you got to say if you ain't vote? No, I got people complaining about Donald Trump. You ask them, did you vote? No, man, I ain't vote. Well, what are you complaining about? You didn't vote. It don't matter what he's doing because you didn't vote. You didn't vote for nobody. But you complaining. Oh, man. And some stuff, people put their own self in certain situations and looking for somebody else to blame. Which a lot of times people don't like to look at themselves in the mirror and say, hey, a lot of stuff I'm going through is my fault. So they got to find somebody to blame. So they're going to blame whoever. If it's the government or whatever. But that's my take on it. If you like what I'm saying, hit that like button. Subscribe to me. Share it. I'm Brady Burks. And Bernaya Burks. Get in here. And we out.